Hi everyone. Today I'd like to talk to you about making a gem elixir. Okay, so you're going to need some tools. The first thing you need to do is decide upon an intention. And the intention that I've decided upon for my gem elixir is I want to be able to accept. So it's to help me accept instead of rushing and what have you in life. I just want to accept everything as it is and relax more and what have you. And I've chosen lepidolite to do so. So this is lepidolite. This is my lepidolite. As you can see, it's absolutely gorgeous. So I don't want it ruined putting it into the water. So what I'm going to need is a glass bowl. Here is my glass bowl. And I'm going to isolate the crystal in a glass and place that glass in this glass bowl. So by doing that, it ensures that you don't poison yourself, which is always advantageous when you're making a gem elixir. You don't want to poison yourself, otherwise it is not serving its purpose. So by placing your bowl your crystal inside a glass and putting that glass inside the bowl, then we're collecting the energy from the crystal directly into the water. Now, the other thing that I want to mention here is the reason it has to be glass and not plastic, because glass will allow the energy through it and plastic doesn't the same. So it is ideal if you can use glass and not plastic. Okay, and then what we're going to do is we're going to use some distilled water or some boil cooled water. So I have a kettle here and I have a plastic jug because that doesn't really matter because I don't have a glass one at the moment. And I'm going to measure the water into my plastic jug. And I'm going to use a litre for this, but you know, if you want to make more, then that's entirely up to you. So do so by putting your water into the bowl, not into the cup, and then standing your glass inside the bowl of water. Now you do need to cover this up. So you want to get some muslin or some cotton, whatever you want to, and just cover it up because you're going to leave it to stand. Now, because I'm wanting acceptance to let go, I'm going to work with the waning moon. Anyway, the moon that's going down. So I think it's the waning moon. The waxing moon is when it's coming up to full and the waning moon is when it's going down. I'm pretty sure. Anyway, I'm going to put it in the moon phase and leave it there to help me to release whatever isn't needed in my energy field anymore and my mindset and the programming that I've got to help me to accept things more clearly. So this is then going to go outside. It's going to be covered in cotton or muslin, and it's going to be left in the cycle of the waning moon. So when that cycle has completed, I'm going to bring this back in, and then I'm going to need a brown bottle, which is known as a mother bottle, and I'm going to need a dropper bottle. Here is a dropper bottle, and we're going to use those to create the gem elixir. Now, you don't have to work with the moon cycles. I put gem elixirs underneath trees. I place them on photographs. I put them, really, you can use anything to enhance the energy of what it is that you're trying to achieve, or you can just create it and leave it overnight. But either way, just take a moment to consider what it is that you want to achieve and what might help you achieve it. So when you've allowed them together, we're then going to make the stock bottle. So we're going to take the water that is in the bowl. So we now can take our crystal out of the bowl, and we're going to, again, using my plastic jug, I'm going to pour the water into my plastic jug. And then in my mother bottle, that's the stock bottle here, we're going to put 1/3 of this water into this bottle and 2/3 of whiskey. Now that sounds like a lot of whiskey, and this is my husband's whiskey, so you can imagine he's not going to be very happy if I use it all. But you need whiskey. If you are wanting to make it alcohol free, then cider vinegar will also do. So you can use whiskey or you can use brandy. I've used brandy. I've just gone to the cupboard to see what it's got and help myself. So 2/3 is whiskey and 1/3 is this water here. So you've got quite a potent bottle here, and that's your stock bottle, and that will last quite a long time, and usually it matures. And why we're placing it in the whiskey or the cider vinegar doesn't last as long as the alcohol. It purifies the water and it keeps the water from creating any badness in it. So I've got some that are like a year old. But, use your intuition. If your intuition said that's been in the cupboard for 5 years, I'm not really sure how it's going to be, then, just follow your intuition. But ideally, you can use this. So then what we're going to do is we're going to break it down into our dosage bottle. So this is our dosage bottle with the pipette on the top. And what we do here with the dosage bottle is we do 1/3 of this bottle into here. So again, pour it into your jug, pour it into your dropper bottle, but you only need 1/3 of this alcohol preservative in here. And then you want your boil cooled water again. So 2/3 boil cooled water or distilled water, whichever is. Now then, how do you take it? You put so many drops underneath your tongue. Now, I normally work with 3 because I want it to work on the mind, the body, and the spirit. But if you want to, you can do 4, which will bring you security. You can do 5, which is discipline. But just work out what's right for you. Meditate, see what feels right. You can use these kind of things to support crystal healing when you've given yourself a crystal healing. And you can use them to help you integrate the energies that you're wanting to integrate. Now, I always bless the bottle and bless Mother Earth and set my intention clearly before I use the gem elixirs, but they're a great way of being able to carry them in your handbag and then get them into your inner world because you're actually ingesting them. But please remember to check that your crystals are not toxic, they're not poisonous. Don't put them in the water. Make sure you isolate them in a glass. And if you don't want to use alcohol, then use cider vinegar. So go play and enjoy making some gem elixirs.